Hello, I've been waiting for you. I'm Taren S, a witch who's been standing in magical spaces for almost 40 years now. And I'm so happy that I get to open up the world of coven and witches to you. Come on in.
Hello, hello! I am so happy y'all are back, those that are returning. And of course to these new witches out there, if this is your first time, let me say welcome home. It is so good to see you. Today I'm doing a video on Mojo bags. And I'm going to be making a Mojo bag for love. I have it in my book. You know this is going to be a shout out. Bag your Mojo if you're interested in them. And I've got another video where I talk about the spirit of Mojo, because this isn't amulets and talismans. This is about allowing the spirit of roots, herbs, and any other object that you bring into it into the bag, because I'm going to be using lodestones first of all, which is a great rock mineral. It's actually a mineral magnetite. It is a naturally occurring magnetized stone. And they typically are sold in pairs, where you get two of them, and you always want to use two lodestones. This is the relationship together symbolism, and which we're going to start with. I like to use a red cloth for when I'm working love in this particular area, because this is for a long-term romance, that forever relationship. All right. And when you're starting your magical space, your magical working, first you want to take care of your magical space. You see I've got all my stuff set up right here. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm okay. And I've got root water for Ruta water, in which is a cleansing prosperity. This is some old school cologne. You take it, do a little cleansing on it. It's got great. I love the smell of Ruta. And for some of you even old school folk out there, Florida water. This is the all-purpose cleansing cleanser. And again, put a little in your hands. You may want to swish it all around. I'm not going to swish all up on my face if y'all don't mind. All right, cleanse it up. You may want to take your cloth. I will sometimes sit here and you'll see me where I'll start tipping a little bit on my four corners as I start talking about the fact that this is for love. This is for real love, not that pretend stuff. This is for the love that lasts forever and ever. All right, and that's what I want to attract into my life. And I'm going to start talking out loud. This isn't about trying to say some fancy words or anything. All right, now I'm going to sit there. Now again, I'm also may want to take, I've got both sage and cedar, Palo Santo, any instance that you feel represents love. This is the time. Light it up. You're going to want to do yourself. You're going to want to do your cloth. I'm not lighting it up for obviously video and the fact that I'm in my cottage with the doors shut. And if I start lighting my sage and incense up, you want to talk about a terrible high to get. Remember, always crack a window when we're doing our incenses and our burning any of our herbs. All right. Of course, I am going to have the recipe is in the book, Bag Your Mojo, but I will also put it at the end of the video for you witches, so that you don't have to go looking up on what Taren did. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to creations from thecauldron.com. A wonderful witch by the name of Drew makes up what is called storm water. This is the most amazing clear your energy space. And no, I'm not paid to do it. And I had to pay for my bottle just like everyone else. But I just love little squirt, clear your space. She has got the best blend All right, now you got your space all together. We got all of our ingredients together. And this is about taking that moment, visualize the love that you deserve, the love that you want, that you yearn for. Now I want you to keep that thought in your head. Pick up those rocks. And that's you. That's you and your love right there. And blow on it. And give it some of that breath. Magical breath. We're going to do a nice deep 1, 2, 3 inhale. And then the exhale 1, 2, 3. And right after that third exhale, you want to give an extra, that fourth breath, the magical breath of self. And put it into it. All right? This is each one. Now I got my 2 lodestons sitting right there. And of course now if I'm working on some lodestons, I got to be feeding on them a little bit. Iron filings is what we're going to do. All right. And you're just going to do a little light sprinkle, because I'm going to come back in and I'm going to be feeding on this mojo with my iron filings as well. All right. And get all that off. Next thing I want to put up in here is a hydron root. All right, and I want to pick up, I'm going to find me hydrons. You can get the bigger root if you're just using the root on its own, or if you want to do any carving on your root. I'm looking for a smaller one because I want to keep my little mojo bag down here. And, ooh, I just love the smell of a good hydron. Ooh, I found the perfect hydron root. All right, let me put these back up. And again, this is the root of hydron. This is a root that tells us that what you ask for, you will get. And again, take time. You got the spirit of hydron in your hand right now. All right, take that. Again, nice 3-drip breaths in, exhale 3. And give your 4th magical breath. And ask hydron to help you find love. Ask hydron to bring somebody who is worthy of you. All right? Now put your hydron up on next to those lodestones. Oh, yeah. And of course, I got to put me a little orris root in there because I just love orris powder. Orris, I talk about higher realms. Let me get a spoon behind me here. All right, I got my spoon. I talk about higher realm herbs, higher vibration. Some of our herbs have low vibrations. Orris root is actually another old school Marie Laveau. She liked to use it for her court cases. She swore up and down anybody that had a little orris root sprinkled in their shoe would always win in court. In love, it's a binding. You're going to get what you want. These herbs that I'm putting in here are all about getting what I want. And again, I like to use the powder. You can actually use a little piece of orris root itself. You can see mine's powdered up. And this is, you only need just a little bit, folks. We're just bringing the spirit of it in. And once I got this spirit, I want to stop. I'm not going to blow on my powder, but I want to stop and hold it. I want to envision this root's working for me. I'm asking this root to work for me. All right? And then I'm going to take that. I'm going to sprinkle me my little bit of orris up on there. Put that back. Just love it. You may want to be playing some good lovey music. Make your place look romantical while you're making this. You know? Now, you will find one of the things that I do, and this is when I was like, oh, you want me to do a working out of a book. Even out of a book I wrote, I'm probably not going to do it word for word. I'm going to stay more in the moment, and I'm also what I'm drawn to at that moment. So I want you to take these recipes, I want you to use them as like the base. And then I want you to think about what does love mean to you? If love is carnations and roses, then that's what you should use. And the book, I recommend Lovage, which is a beautiful, amazing thing. But I, right now, am sitting on some of the prettiest jasmine, and it has just that wonderful energy to it. And I just love it for that. And when you open it up, you can see how beautiful it is. You just have to put that in a working for love. You can't not. All right? And so I today am going to be using jasmine. And which means next week I might decide to use roses. The following week I might be on to something else. All right? I want you to take these recipes and I want you to make them yours. And I even take my own recipes and tweak them and make them a little different so they're even more mine. I'm going to take a little bit of my jasmine flower here. I just love jasmine. I'm going to sprinkle me some jasmine up in there. All right, now if you are, this is a time if you want to, if you have a person in mind, you would want to put a personal item in there or dirt from their footstep. If you can't get a hold of anything personal there. So if I knew who I wanted to have a relationship with, I may sprinkle a little bit of dirt where he or she has walked across. Okay. Typically, I don't encourage folks to personalize them because I think that sometimes we need to leave ourselves open to possibilities, and there may be someone out there that you haven't envisioned yet who is your most amazing, perfect mate. So don't put yourself in a box and limit you thinking that only Bob is the best guy ever. I have to have Bob. All right? Because let me tell you, when you meet Bill, you might like him. All right? And the same goes for if you only like Jan and you have to have Jan, let me tell you about Jill. All right? Don't put yourself in a box and think that this one person is your key to happiness. It's not. This love we need to let the universe have her hand in it too. So keep yourself open to possibilities. One of the things that I'm going to add next is I'm going to add a little lavender. And this is an oil. And I'll put a couple of drops. And again, you put the oil that you want to put in. Or don't put in an oil if you're feeling it. I like lavender because to me lavender is that gentle, just beautiful love. There we go, a couple of dots. All right, I got my pile together. Next thing I'm going to do, I like good old school twine. I know there's all sorts on what can you tie your mojo with. But I've just over the years, nice old twine, works well for me. All right. I'm going to take my four corners, I'm going to tuck them all up together here, and just grab your four corners in, tuck your little baggie, get all your good stuff down at the bottom. You'll feel it when you get all the good stuff where it needs to be. How you tie it, how many times you wrap it, that's your business, all right? Just like how many times I tie mine and how many times I wrap mine is my business. Okay? So you do what feels right. Typically I like to do it in 3, 5, 7s, and 9s. And I'll use one of those numbers, and then I just like to do a nice little old school knot on it. And then we trim my little bags off here. Clean her up. All right, mojos are not supposed to be big. Mojos are supposed to fit in a pocket. Mojo for love. Guess where I'm going to put my little mojo for love? Now I am a walking attraction for love. And when I get home at night, I'm going to carefully take out my little mojo here. And I'm going to tell it what a great job it did. And I may decide that I want to put me a little roux on it. I may decide it needs a little bit more Florida on it. I may decide I need to put a little iron on it to keep them lodestones fed. I may decide I like what Drew, give it a good talk to it. I'm going to sit it someplace special. And when I get up in the morning, it's going to go right back here. And I'm going to have that with me every day until the love of my life walks in the door. And that is how we feed the spirit a mojo. All right, witches, you tell me what you think of this working. And like I said, you got the recipe at the end. Typically, you're going to probably, again, I like to do what I call magical mystical numbers. So I would tell somebody I would keep it active, feed it for 21 days, and then see how I felt. All right, and at that time, you may have someone in your sights, things are going to change, or you may need to get it out, take it apart, put it back together, boost it back up, and tuck it back. And if you are a man and you do not have the wonderful caring little purse that I have right here, put it in your pocket is all you got to do. Or if you are so inclined, you can put your little secret pocket in your pants. I've heard of people and which actually sew it into they have a little secret pocket they sewed and they put their little mojo up in there. You tell me what you think, witches. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this inspires you to create a mojo bag for love. And of course, please press subscribe if you're new to the channel and hit the notify button. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to know more about the spirit of Mojo and you want to know how to create other bags, then please join our Patreon where we get all up into that stuff and we go into depth. Because at that point, we know you're committed, so it gives us an opportunity to really explain things, and we have where you get the opportunity to have Q&As with us so you can ask me about what you have going on. Okay, witches, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you have as bright of a blessed day as I'm having. And you know, it never changes. It's always the same. I'm a Crossroads witch, so I recognize the global world. With that said, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a bobo.
Hello, I'm Taren S. I've been standing in magical spaces for almost 40 years, and my favorite music under a full moon is Black Eyed Peas. Come on in.